Hey guys, we are back and we're back and it is Friday and I just want to jump on, have a quick daily video as I promised to everyone and to myself, holding myself accountable, which I feel like we all should start something that can do daily on holding ourselves accountable, because this also builds discipline in you. This builds accountability with yourself. You trust yourself more, because if you promise yourself something and you actually do it on a daily basis, you're going to be able to have more confidence in yourself, believe that you can hold, you can start anything, you can finish it, because a lot of us don't even have trust in ourselves, and we don't have that confidence in ourselves, including myself, right? You start off doubting yourself, you start off not knowing if you can do what you want to do. And a lot of those voices in our head are the ones against you. And I saw a quote today on Instagram. Somebody posted, I was able to defeat myself, and I was my biggest enemy. And it's true, you're your own worst enemy, and you're gonna criticize yourself a bunch of times. You're never gonna be perfect. And in my post today, I posted a quote by Winston Churchill, and it goes in the regards something with stating that in the pursuit of perfection, you get paralysis, because you're never gonna be moving because you never feel like it's gonna be perfect enough. And I struggle with that on a daily basis. I want to put up content. I want it to be perfect as possible, and it'll be half an hour, 20 minutes, me delegating in my head what it should look like, what it should be, and a lot of the guys that I follow, most of them just put up content that's great, but it's right off their head. And yeah, it might be a little editing here and there because it's something that sometimes we need, but most of it is just their thoughts, and those thoughts will be powerful content for days. And living in social media like we do, that everything is quick, it's a constant content of thoughts and daily basis. So that one magic thought or one magic content that you might have tomorrow might not be relevant, or one weekend might not be relevant. So it's something that we already have inside of us, and I think the more you try to perfect it, the more harder you make it for yourself. A lot of us get paralysis, including myself. I didn't want to start the channel, I didn't want to start anything because I felt like it wasn't perfect enough. I didn't have the right equipment, I didn't have the right skills, I didn't have the right information, knowledge. You start questioning yourself, and then you realize you have a lot of assets, attributes. Yourself, who you are as an individual, is already an asset you bring to the table, because nobody can be just like you, nobody can look like you, nobody can sound like you, nobody can speak like you, whether you like it or not. It is a unique skill you have for yourself, and we're kind of taught in society that we're not, that we're not good enough, and it's something that I think I struggle with a lot. And once I became more aware of my thoughts and my actions, you start seeing that a lot of the stuff is something that's most of the times is mental, and you start not judging your thoughts, but most of your thoughts, you start seeing a lot of them are a negative aspect of yourself, a lot of criticism of yourself, a lot of judging, a lot of doubting, a lot of contemplation, a lot of living in the past, a lot of guilt. These are all thoughts that I have, and I think a lot of us have, and it kind of holds us back from being the person we want to be, or being the best version of ourselves. Because I feel like, in life, we all are growing, regardless, either in a good way or in a bad way, but you're always growing. You're becoming more of what you are. So whether it be good or bad, you are becoming more of that. And it's up to us to kind of manage it and be able to understand that if we're not growing, we're dying, they say, right? There's a quote I heard: you're not growing, you're dying. Or some of us die very young. They say the soul dies young, and then you actually really die in your 60s. But I think as long as you do what you love, I personally believe, as long as you're doing what you love and you feel like your soul needs to do this, you're always going to be more aware, more alive, more energy. It's never going to be a dull day for you, or it's never going to be a stressful day, because it's you're doing what you love. And now I know why a lot of people say just do what you love, do more what you love. Because once you start doing something you feel like you love to do, whether you are good at it or not, in your mind, you are a success, right? You're already a success. You're doing what you love, and that's like the highest achievement that everybody wants to get to. We want to do something that we love and be compensated well for it. But whether you compensate or not, the fact that you get to do something that you love is very, very important, because you're actually being yourself. You're actually being who you are. You're actually bringing to the world what you have to give to the world. We all have something. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but we all have it inside of us. Tom Bilyeu, I just saw one of his posts, and he stated that you have to work hard and persist until it is to be who you want to be. And that's part of it as well. You have to keep moving forward past the fears. We all have fears, about the opinions of others, about if you're going to be failing, if you're going to actually succeed. These are all thoughts that come up in your mind, right? And the reason for the channel I started was because I really wanted to access the mind and understand it and really process and document my process of my growth, and in the process be able to resonate with the audience, and if anything, give you guys some tips and nuggets on how to understand that the mind is what really holds you back. Not the skills, not the funds, the financing, not the opportunities. It's more about the mind. The way you see things, the way you process them, the way you translate them in your head or in your mind is how your outcomes of life are going to be. Your actions, your reality is going to be. And the more aware you become, the more you start to understand yourself. And maybe the biggest, for me, the biggest improvement I've seen in the last couple of months is certain things that will get to me, or I felt like I had to react to. Like if somebody hurt my feelings or somebody got under my skin, I needed to react, and I knew they were wrong for it. And I had to, my old self will actually go and make a point of myself and let them know that what they did was wrong. And and that would be I would feel good. My ego would feel good. Like, yes, I went over there and I put them in their place, right? And then on my journey as I go, I learned that if it doesn't bring peace, I don't want to actually attend to it, and maybe I'm looking at it from my perspective. I'm not looking at it from their perspective. And whether I'm right or I'm wrong, nobody's really right or wrong. It's something that they felt that moment, and everybody's doing the best they can with what they know. And I got a lot more compassion for other people. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna get run over by other people, but I do have more compassion and more understanding of how everybody has their own struggles and their own beliefs, and it's up to us to understand that so we can move more easily through this world and not judge. We're gonna be judging regardless, because your mind is a big judger, but catch your thoughts, right? And understand, okay, this is judging, this is negative, this is not bringing me peace. So you have to accept the thoughts and then move forward. But my biggest growth was just like before, I would have tried to make it a point and waste a lot of energy and waste a lot of explanation to other people of why they're wrong and I'm right. And then you understand that regardless, when you do that, first of all, it's not the best, because they're not gonna understand it, because they're not that level yet. They're doing the best they can with what they know. And two, you might actually make the situation worse, because now they're gonna have some type of resentment, some type of grudge, and now they're gonna want to have revenge or something. A lot of things can build up from that. And the best thing to do is, when you're aware of yourself, you just understand that they're doing the best they can, and you're on your journey, and you have to direct your focus towards that, and don't let anything else divert you from it. And understand that nobody's perfect, including yourself. And then when you understand that, you have more compassion for yourself. When you're not at the level you want to be, or maybe you're not making the stuff that the way you want it to be, or the results are not coming the way you want them to, you have to have more compassion for yourself. Know that nobody's perfect, including yourself, and perfection doesn't exist, right? Everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's on their own path, and people learn as I've learned so much more since I started this channel, of how much it takes to create content, how much actual work and hours and time it takes to sit down and upload and download and edit, and I'm not even halfway through my learning. So I've learned so much that just by starting. And I want to make this video also. I got a little bit sidetracked, but just to let you guys know that perfection is not something that's gonna exist. and I'm a perfectionist by heart, and I felt like everything had to be perfect. Everything had to be all the dots and X's had to be crossed off, and I think it might not even be a statement, but I made my own statement. But just the fact that just do what you love, go with your intuition and just follow it, and I think you will resonate with others, and whatever it is that you want to do, just do it. All my videos are about this, right? But today's video is more about perfection and how it holds us back. And from that Winston Churchill quote, it paralyzes us from actually ever starting anything, of actually ever creating anything, because we feel it has to be perfect from the get-go. And the most humbling experience for me is knowing that my stuff is not perfect, and I feel like I'm putting out my best work, but I know that it's not perfect, and it's kind of like an experience, because being a perfectionist, I work hard at everything to make sure that it's perfect, and it kind of crumbles over and it kind of topples over to your relationships, right? Knowing that not everything is perfect, and the more you try to make it perfect, the more you actually hinder it. So I've come into a phase where I'm just letting everything, just allow it to be. I put it out there and just allow it to be, whether it's good or not, and let the universe take care of it, right? And you understand that you're here to just bring yourself to the, as I call it, bring yourself to the everyday, bring yourself out, perform the best you can, or bring your attributes, and not worry about how everything else is going to turn out. And it's also a big factor in having trust in yourself, because if you don't trust yourself, you won't believe that you have what it takes. And most of us, I feel, me myself included, we're kind of taught at a young age that you can't really trust yourself. You have to go somewhere else to get the information, or go somewhere else to access the power that you might want. And once you believe and trust that you're the one that has the answers, it's a whole game changer. Like, I'm telling you, it's something totally different. The way you carry yourself, the way you see the world, the way you see everything that's happening to you, you have nothing you have to really worry about, because you already trust that you can take care of whatever comes up, and move forward. So on this Friday afternoon, hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And please like and share if you can. If not, subscribe. If not, it's okay. We're here to just support each other, and I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Take care.